Leica is reportedly preparing to do something unusual for its modern mirrorless lineup, and the photography world is already paying close attention. There has been no official announcement, no teaser campaign, and no press release from the company itself. Instead, what exists right now is a growing cluster of leaks and industry chatter pointing toward a new camera that could arrive in 2026 under the name Leica SL3P. If the current rumors are accurate, this camera may be introduced around May 2026, placing it much closer to release than many expected. And while Leica products always generate interest, this particular model is gaining attention for reasons that go beyond typical speculation. What makes the Leica SL3P so intriguing is not just its existence, but its positioning within Leica's already premium SL lineup. Based on current information, the camera appears to sit directly between two established models, the high-resolution SL3, which uses a 60-megapixel sensor, and the more speed-oriented SL3S, which is designed for lower resolution but faster performance and improved handling for hybrid shooters. That middle ground has traditionally been missing from Leica's portfolio, and the Leica SL3P is rumored to be the model designed specifically to fill that gap. It is expected to target photographers who need a balance between resolution, speed, and real-world usability rather than extreme specialization in one direction. The reasoning behind this positioning becomes clearer when looking at how different types of photographers actually work. Studio photographers, portrait specialists, and editorial shooters often want high image quality, but they do not always need extremely large files that slow down workflows. At the same time, they still require reliable autofocus and consistent performance in real-world shooting environments. The Leica SL3P is rumored to address exactly this category of user, those who sit between ultra-high resolution needs and fast hybrid video-centric workflows. In theory, it is meant to be the balanced SL camera that completes Leica's professional lineup. However, as with most Leica-related rumors, the technical details are where things become both interesting and controversial. Early leaks suggest that the Leica SL3P will use a 44.3 megapixel full-frame sensor. What makes this detail more significant is the claim that the sensor is closely related to the one found in the Panasonic Lumix S1R2. Because both Leica and Panasonic are part of the L-mount alliance, shared technology is not unusual. In fact, sensor collaboration between the two companies has existed for years. Still, seeing such a direct overlap in rumored specifications has led to comparisons between the two cameras, especially given the significant price difference expected between them. Alongside the sensor discussion, autofocus is another area where the Leica SL3P is said to improve meaningfully over previous SL models. Historically, Leica's autofocus systems have not been considered on the same level as Sony, Canon, or Nikon, especially in fast-paced shooting environments. That limitation has often been one of the main criticisms of the SL series. However, current rumors suggest that the SL3P could feature a noticeably improved autofocus system, potentially narrowing the gap with competitors. If this turns out to be true, it would represent one of the most important functional upgrades in the history of the SL lineup, because it directly impacts usability in real-world professional work. Video capability is where the Leica SL3P is expected to take a more conservative approach. Interestingly, some leaks suggest that its video features may actually be less advanced than those found in other SL series cameras. At first glance, that might seem unusual in a market where most manufacturers are aggressively pushing hybrid functionality. However, this rumored limitation actually reveals something important about Leica's strategy for this model. The SL3P is not being positioned as a hybrid video-first tool. Instead, it appears to be designed primarily for still photography professionals who prioritize image quality, handling, and shooting experience over video specifications. This design philosophy becomes even more relevant when considering the broader market comparison that has fueled much of the online discussion. The Panasonic Lumix S1R2, which is expected to share a similar 44.3 megapixel sensor platform, is priced at roughly $3,300 and offers strong performance across both photography and video. In contrast, the Leica SL3P is expected to launch at a significantly higher price point, likely exceeding $6,000 and potentially reaching closer to $7,000 depending on configuration and market region. This creates a very direct and unavoidable comparison. If the core imaging hardware is similar, what exactly justifies the Leica premium? This question has become central to discussions around the SL3P. On paper, the spec comparison raises valid concerns about value, especially for users who focus strictly on technical performance per dollar. However, Leica's position in the market has never been based purely on specifications. Instead, it has always been built around a combination of design philosophy, craftsmanship, user experience, and brand identity. The SL series in particular is known for its solid metal construction, minimalist interface, and long-term durability. These are qualities that do not appear in specification sheets but are often emphasized by professional users who prioritize tactile experience and reliability over feature density. Another major factor in Leica's value proposition is color science and image rendering. Many photographers working in fashion, advertising, and editorial environments rely heavily on Leica's JPEG output and tonal rendering characteristics. These users often build workflows around the camera's default look rather than heavily relying on post-processing. In that sense, Leica's appeal is not just technical but aesthetic, shaped by a specific visual signature that is difficult to replicate across other systems. The real question surrounding the SL3P is not just what it can do, but what it represents. In a rapidly evolving camera industry driven by constant technological escalation, Leica appears to be making a deliberate statement that balance, experience, and craftsmanship still matter. Whether photographers ultimately accept that philosophy at its expected price point will determine how successful the SL3P becomes when it finally arrives.